y'all, it is time for me to run my mouth. Let's talk.
You could blow me, I ain't the old me. You so lonely, insecure, they don't control me. I ain't the old me, press the hole and worship me.
If you like to hear me run my mouth like I just said, and if you like these kinds of conversations, make sure that you're going over to patreon.com/AdrianExpression. The link to that is in my description box. Every single Tuesday, we release a new podcast episode where the patrons get to tell me what they want me to talk about. It's always fun. Get into it. Check out my other channel. Link for that is also in my description. Let's talk. So this really cool, really talented rapper who goes by the name Monaleo, I'm sure you guys have heard of her. She really blew up when she released her song Beating Down Your Block. I mean, guess me up. I live for a good female rapper. I live for a good gay rapper. Like, that's, y'all already know what's up, right? So recently, I think like 4 days ago, she went onto this show called the Hollywood Group Chat or something like that. And one of the questions that kind of went viral on some social media sites, Twitter obviously, but one of the things that went viral is because they was up here talking, as you can see here, and the girl in the middle, I don't know what her name is, I think her name is Megan or something like that, just air up there. And I don't like to say that about everybody, but it was just like, if I was Monaleo sitting down there, just the fact that she was able to sit through this conversation, sit through this person asking her, sit through Megan asking her these weirdo ass questions, and the answer that Monaleo gave were just like really good, right? Just the fact that she was able to sit through that shit, I commend her, okay? Because immediately, let's just start, okay? Because as soon as the question was asked, Megan asked Monaleo this question, she's like, do you believe in colorism? And I was like, we're already off on a shitty start. Like, what are you talking about believe in colorism? Colorism exists, okay? And that's exactly what Monaleo said. But then Megan, the interviewer, came back at her, and it was just like, what's not clicking for y'all? The light-skinned interviewer ended up literally speaking over Monaleo, and I'm just like, first of all, the tenets of colorism, the symptoms of it are being shown right in this conversation. Because every time Monaleo trying to say something, you're like, oh well, girl, well that didn't happen to me, or this is how it happened to me as a light-skinned one. It's like, girl, we're not talking about you right now. You just asked her a question, and you're still speaking. Oh, you're a light-skinned ass. No shit, it's still speaking over her. You're literally displaying the things that she was trying to talk about, that Monaleo was trying to talk about, right? But yeah, one of the examples, and the interviewer ended up saying like, oh well, girl, there's such thing as reverse colorism, and I'm just like, you sound so stupid. And that's what just based off of Monaleo's face and what she's trying to, like, I could see that she was trying to say that without actually saying it verbatim. And she literally said, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think reverse colorism is a thing. And yes, your experiences as a light-skinned person in whatever environment that you were in school, whatever, those were your experiences, but we cannot compare that to the systematic discrimination against dark-skinned individuals. Like, this is the definition of colorism, just in case people are just so disconnected from life that they don't know the definition. Prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Now, the interviewer was trying to say that because she experienced, girls when she was younger trying to cut her hair, her light-skinned ass hair, and bullying her, that is colorism or reverse colorism. And I'm just like, that has nothing to do, you being bullied because you fit closer to the beauty standards because you're light, like that's definitely a conversation to have. But it's because you literally were fitting the beauty standards better than they were, and they got pissed about that shit. If that's what you want, that's a whole entire conversation that we need to have. But at the end of the day, it all goes back to colorism. Yes, like, that was traumatic for some people, obviously, if you experienced that shit. But to say that it's colorism, or to try and, like I said, link it to the systematic discrimination of darker skinned people, you got another thing coming, babes. Also, the interviewer gave this example like, oh well, girl, people would come up to me and say, well, you're too pretty to be fully black, you must be mixed. And she tried to use that as an example, like tried to compare that to Monaleo's like experience as a darker skinned woman. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, the interviewer did not even realize that the examples that she was giving leads directly into colorism. Because why is someone complimenting you? Why you're giving that example and you're saying that they are saying that the reason why you're pretty is because you're further away from being a darker skinned black person than other people that they've seen. They're saying that you're light skinned, and that is the reason. Because you're a little bit further away from being dark skinned, because you're light skinned, because you're further away from how society sees blackness, that means that you're pretty. And you cannot connect the dots and see how that literally links right back to colorism. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I said, if you were bullied in school and it's because y'all fit these beauty standards, if you were bullied in school for those reasons, you were bullied, and that's a whole entire separate conversation. Yes, it is one that should be had, but when you dig into it, you see that it's laid on top of the foundations of racism and colorism. Like, that's it. And that's why these conversations, that's why it's so fucking dangerous. Colorism, racism, all that shit, it's just so fucking destructive, right? But yeah, honestly, Monaleo, throughout the entire interview, even when she was getting spoken over, even when Megan was trying to compare, I think that's her name, the interviewer, compare her experiences as a light-skinned woman to Monaleo's experience as a darker-skinned person, it's like, even while all that was going on, Monaleo still held her ground and was just like, yeah, I don't believe that reverse colorism is a thing. Sounds like reverse racism. Just ridiculous. And yes, your experiences may be your experiences, and that's your experience, whatever. But if we're talking about darker skinned women, there's certain things that we experience, there's certain hardships that you have to face as someone who's in the music industry. They brought up some of my favorite darker skinned artists and just was just like, yeah, like these people, no matter how they could be 10 times more lyrically talented, have better visuals, have art that's really moving, and they have to go through so much to prove themselves as opposed to someone who's lighter skinned. And that was a point. And I guess Megan felt hit. And it's just like, if you don't base all of your self-esteem on the fact that you're light skinned, you will not find it hard to hear these kinds of conversations. Like, that's just real. That's just real. If you don't base your entire personality, your entire self-esteem, your entire view of yourself on the fact that you're light skinned, you will be able to enter into certain spaces and hear the ways in which darker skinned people have to navigate certain things in ways that you don't have to do it, right? In ways that you don't have to do. You'll be able to hear that, listen to the conversation, listen to what these people are saying, like, yeah, you know what? These things are real issues, instead of trying to deflect and be like, oh yeah, well girl, somebody said I was way too pretty. Somebody was walking through school and they said I was way too pretty. I was bullied too, girl. Like, okay. But yeah, a lot of people felt hit. One of them included Masika, I guess. She said reverse colorism 100% exists. Saying that it doesn't exist is actual proof that it does. I like her Instagram comment because it really displays why I think literally 90% of these people who talk about, oh, I got bullied in school for being light-skinned or whatever, 90% of them, in my opinion, said shit like this, and that's why they got bullied. This is what she said. I'm gonna just skip to the part that matters. Y'all insecure black beasts be so mad that we are beautiful, exotic looking black women. And there you have it. Some of these light-skinned people who claim that they was just so relentlessly bullied in school actually had a fucking superiority complex going through motherfucking school. And when they were brought down to reality, you calling these people black beasts? Okay, you was definitely doing that at school. And worse, probably. Y'all have these superiority complexes, and when somebody say, hey, you're not all that, you need to sit your ass down, then y'all count that as bullying when y'all were just standing on the pillars of colorism. I just don't understand how hard it is. Like, you already know how it feels to be fucked over as someone who's black. Like, why can't you listen to somebody who is saying this is how it feels to be darker skinned? Like, why is that such a big deal for people to do? Anyway, Monaleo, after the interview kind of went viral, she said, I've gotten nasty ass messages since that interview dropped, and all I did was point out what I thought was the obvious. And honestly, it is. I stand by what I said about colorism still being a very real and prevalent issue. There is no such thing as reverse colorism. You're 100% correct. She also said, I have never had any media training. I'm literally just a black girl who grew up with mental health issues in a toxic environment. I've always had to be careful with my words. Thank God I feel comfortable voicing how I feel in my music because I've been torn down in every other space. Like, I just know that the very same people who were in grade school calling people African booty scratchers or whatever the fuck they was, what else they would say that these dark-skinned girls look like tar and all that. Like, I know that y'all are not the same ones over here trying to say, oh, well, girl, reverse colorism is a thing. Like, I just know that's not what I'm seeing on my fucking timeline. Like, I just know that. But in my opinion, the sooner that we just acknowledge that certain things are issues and that they're real and that they're here, instead of just pretending like they don't exist or trying to deflect, like literally speaking over a darker skinned person in an interview about, you trying to ask her about colorism. It's right there. You're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. The sooner we start to see these things as the issues that they actually are, instead of trying to deflect and act like they don't exist and gaslighting these darker skinned people, the better off we all gonna be. Like, especially especially talking about something that has its roots, when you dig down into it, roots in literal racism. Get all this colonial, weird, white supremacist bullshit out of our communities, and that's just that. That's just that. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. On that note, thank y'all so much for watching. Love y'all so much. Make sure you check out my description box, like I said, for all the extra content and goodies and Patreon and other channel, all that stuff. I appreciate the support and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
Don't play with me.